Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Land Portal channel. In this video, we're going to talk through using our slope filters and how you can best use them to get clean, buildable lots on your list. And for this example, I'm just going to start with vacant lots in Ashtabula County, Ohio, between 20 to 100 acres. And if you scroll down, you'll see this property slope filter. And just to define it, so this is a percentage of the property that you want under a specific slope range. So for example, if we want under 15% slope on 30% of the property, that means at least 30% of the property or more will be under 15% slope. And I'll share a little bit with exactly what that means. So for example, if we broke these down into 4 different categories: 0.5% and under, 5% and under, 10% and under, 15% and under slope. And then you can put in your percentage of the property you want at least to be under that criteria. So if I want under 5% slope on 30% of the property, that means at least 30% of the property or more will be under 5% slope. If I did 100% here, that means I want 100% of the property to be under 5% slope. So going back to 30%, you can use this and you can go to any filter. So maybe I want 30% of the property under 15% slope. And this all depends on the areas you're in. Ashtabula County, Ohio is fairly flat, right? But when you're in areas like North Carolina, some areas of Georgia, a lot of areas out west, Kentucky, Tennessee, a lot of sloped areas, your slope filters will have to be much more extreme because you might only have 20% of properties under 15% slope. And you have to dive into that specific region and look for what properties that you are interested in fit into those criteria. So for example, let's say we're in Kentucky and we're just diving into some properties here. And this property looks like it's buildable. There's a house on it, so I'll avoid that. I'm going to click into a few different examples, and you can pull up the contour lines here to give you guys an area. Like this is very extreme slope here. Probably want to avoid that. You can click into this and see, okay, what does this look like? So 80% of this property is over 15% slope. So I'm just going to gauge the area a little bit, and I'm going to look for some lots that are built on, for example, like this. And if you scroll down there, you'll see, okay, 90% of the property is above 15% slope. These are very, very sloped properties. I do have about 10% of the property under 15% slope. So not much room to work there. So I probably in general want to avoid those properties, but scroll around and see what properties work for you. Like for example, this right here, this property has 80% of the property is 15% over. So you're working with really extreme slope in this area. I'm going to look into a couple more examples for you. Like this property, fairly nice, has a house on it, buildable lot, already has a house, obviously, 85%. So you see people are building on lots with over 80% of the property above 15% slope. So just knowing that in that area, I'd adjust them. But for this example, I'm in Ashtabula County, Ohio, which is way up in Northeast Ohio on the lake, and it's very, very flat. So if I'm in Ashtabula County, Ohio, I believe it's right over here. As you can see, the properties are going to be much more flat. So if you click into these properties, you'll see almost all of these properties are under, 15% slope. There's only 2% of this properties above 15%, and you have 65% of the property under 5% slope. So work backwards from your area that you're working in, look through some properties to see what would be an interested property that I'm targeting and what's not, so you can figure out what you want to avoid. So for Ashtabula County, Ohio, I'm just going to I want 50% of my property under 5% slope, or that's actually pretty extreme. I'm just going to do 30% of the property under 5%. And I'm going to do under 15% of the property. I'm going to do, we want at least 60% of the property under 15% slope for this area. And once you have that, you can hit apply, and both of these filters need to apply. Both of these, this is an and logic. So I want at least 30% of the property under 5% slope, and I want 60% or more of the property under 15%. Once you're ready, you can hit apply. So now I have my results. I have 1,900 results that fit this. And this is a way to really clean up your list and remove those extreme sloped properties. You can use this with all your other filters like road frontage, FEMA, and wetlands to get the cleanest list possible that you're not going to pay any data charge for. You're just going to get the best quality land on your list and remove any defected land before even exporting it. This isn't a scrub. This is a part of every data point. So once you have this list, I always recommend showing your results on a map. That way you can go in and dive into individual properties here, click into them, and make sure it fits your criteria. So as you see here, there's only 5% of the land over 15%. That means 95's under, and we have about 70% under 5%. So that fits the criteria that I was searching for. And just do that. Make sure everything's working well. Make sure your lists are clean. It's just double checking. Here's a little bit more of a sloped property, as you can see on the contour lines. Let's see what this is broken down. So you have about 80% of the slope under 5%. So this is going to fit as well. There's only 0.8% of the property that's over 15%. So it looks like our filters are working. Once you're ready to go, what you would do, go back to your filtered search and just click the export down here. And what that allows you to do is you can just export your very clean list using any filters you want and use these in combination, like I said, with all of the other proprietary AI filters like FEMA, wetlands, road frontage, landlocked, and any other filters you want. And it's just a way for you to save money and really, really get high quality list. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. There is a 14-day free trial in our link below. Head over to thelandportal.com. There's 14 days free. You can try it out, start building this list and get a feel for it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next one.